Hello farmers, it's Trevor here, and I am back for another episode of Oakfield Farms with the Seasons mod. And I just was taking a little bit of time before I started recording to take a look at the condition of the farm. And if you guys have been following the series closely, you'll see that fields 9, 12, and 13, and 15 have all been harvested. Let's switch back over to here. And, you know, our grass fields are still, we want them to grow one more cycle, I think. And then on top of that, we have the cornfield out here. And it should be ready with the next growth stage, which if we, well, here, let's just talk about fertilization. So these fields all need to be refertilized. And everything else is good, the grass fields. But let's escape from that and hit Alt S. And so here's where we're at. And I was looking at it. If we planted in this stage and it went to 1, 2, 3, it wouldn't be enough. That would be dark green, right? So, I mean, this would be just sown. But I think I want to take my chances on something. Maybe we don't even plant a whole field. Maybe we just plant part. That would really kind of mess things up. But I thought, you know what, why not just throw caution to the wind? And maybe we'll, pointing at corn, but, oh, look, I can't plant. But I could plant canola, right? Yeah, look at that. So maybe we'll try to just plant some canola out there if we have time. And just see what happens to it. You know, can we plant it and then harvest it before then? I don't think that's going to work. But whatever, we'll see what happens. And then the other thing we could do is plant some of these oilseed radishes. We could also plant poplars, but we're not going to do that. That's really, yeah, I guess that canola is kind of our only thing that's saying we can plant it right now. So maybe we'll go for that. Then we'll plant oilseed radish in another field and see what that does for us, if it saves us that much money or not. You know, because it should, when cultivated in, it should add another layer of fertilization to that field. So it might save us having to do that later. So let's get started on that. What do you guys say? As far as the money goes, I'm going to hold off. I mean, I went through here. We have wheat, barley, canola, which we certainly can sell some of it. We kind of have to sell some barley just because we have it in our wagons there. So I don't know. We'll just hold off, you know, hopefully until the middle of winter. I don't think we're going to need those carts for anything else. We got a few bucks, so it's not like we're dying for it. We also have a bunch of potatoes, which is at a low point. We will have some corn, which seems to be at a high point, but we haven't harvested yet. And then, you know, another 3-4 days, it's going to go back down, and it looks like it goes back up. So I'm not sure what to do about all that, but we'll let it do its thing, you know. I did see that it looks like strawberries can go up and down. We could sell off some more of those, but we're also at a low point, even if that's true. Silage seems pretty steady. We could sell some of the silage that we made. But for now, I think we're okay, you know. And then grass we can't sell. Hay we could sell, and we're at a low point. So this does not seem like the time of year to sell anything. Certainly, we should wait for winter time, I would think, according to this. So what does that mean we should do first? Well, let's go figure out how we can plant some oilseed radish. I would say we just go out there, and we don't need to plow the fields. So that's not an issue. We do need to remember where we parked our... Did we park our planter over here? I think we did. Let's go see. Yes. Okay, is that the one? Yeah, I think that one. That's the regular old planter. I would think this is like a regular old crop. Let's Why am I forgetting this? Why? Yeah, there's Oilseed radish. Let's go fill this up with some more seed. Do you think they didn't move that fence just for this reason? So let's go get some seed. And, yeah, I filled up all the tractors, cleaned them up. It's 6 o'clock at night. We've had a long day harvesting, but we're not quitting yet, right? So let's refill that guy. That menu there. Yeah, I guess we should fertilize as we're going, huh? How much did that cost us? That only cost us like $2,000. I tend to think that fertilizing would cost us more. We don't even know that we're going to use all this seed. All right, so now the next question is which field? Well, I would say let's plant the wheat in field 9, because if it just dies anyway, we can decide. Potatoes were a big pain in there anyway, and we're pretty sure these oilseed radishes are going to work out for us. So why don't we do field 13? It doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, let's do field 13 since we're pointing in that direction with these guys. How's that sound? Alright, so we're all filled up. Alright. So how's everybody doing today? Back out on the farm. Playing some Farm Manager 2018, if you guys haven't heard of that. Head all the way up to the top of the hill. It's definitely different, but it's more of a management game. Far from if you're thinking of buying it and you're expecting anything like Farming Sim, it's just not. I mean, I couldn't at all say it's bad. We do close that lid. Why am I forgetting like all of the slightly different commands? Right, let's set this guy up to GPS it. We need to go to field 13. Hold that. Let's unfold this guy. Pull him up straight ahead a little bit. Usually gets a better. Yep, 9. Just move it over. I don't think it makes that much difference, but it should be pretty good. Looks like that's going to get us one junk row. If I move back and forth a little bit, maybe you guys can see it's. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so let's VB it. Out the zoom a little bit. Yep, we are doing stuff. And we'll get around here. See, I don't know if are we going to miss that little bit right there. I don't know if I'm worried about it. As soon as this guy starts to turn up here, we'll too much of this. It's not like we're going to make any money. It's almost like missing a tiny bit of fertilization, which can't be too terribly worried about it. See that tree kind of hard. I think it's alright, so let me get started. I'll cut off the video at some point here and get this field done, but let's get the headlands done maybe and fast forward. Alright, just about done. And while I was out here, I had a couple thoughts. And the first one is, I've been fertilizing this field. And I have a very strong suspicion that that's going to be a waste. Because if it just counts, you know, if we go back to and just cultivate over the oilseed radish when it's done, right? Isn't that going to set it back? And we're only going to get one layer of fertilization, not the two that we might get if during this fertilization step. You know, like right now we're fertilizing. If we get another fertilization step because we have the oilseed radish, that means that we would set up with two. So I'm very curious to see what happens. Now maybe we keep the two because we haven't harvested anything, right? We don't go actually through the harvest stage and we just cultivate it in. So in any event, I went back, I actually ran out of fertilizer, so I just put about 500 in, which cost us a bit of money. One thing to say about this oilseed radish is it goes a long way. So, you know, it's we've only used, what, 25% on this entire field. So it is certainly an economical way to do it. Now, the other problem I have with doing this is, and I kind of want to see what happens. You can tell, even though this game has been released years ago, I have no idea. Do we end up having to plow an extra time because we planted this crop? Because to be honest with you, that plowing takes forever, and if it, you know, I'd just as soon spray the darn thing, cost me the money, rather than have to plow this whole field another extra time to get my extra little 10% bonus. So we're going to conduct a bit of an experiment. I'm going to come up into this field and we'll do the same thing. As far as we'll plant the oilseed radish, except for this time I'll just let whatever, you know, whatever fertilizer I have here just run out, and then that way we can, you know, we can see what happens with this field. Do we end up with just as much fertilization? So let me unfold it and get away from the gate. Get the size right. So we'll go around in this direction. Go with 9, offset 0. I really wish you could type this in. As soon as there you go, got it. Now let's move it over. So it looks like we're just going to have one quote waste. Let's just maximize that right there. Back up a little bit and start from there. Alright, so we'll have one or two rows here that are that were fertilized twice, but maybe the headland, I'm not sure how long that fertilizer will last, but you guys get the idea. So let me meet up with you when we get done this field. Alright guys, we have gotten done. I'm going to use my little cheaty path. If I had enough energy in life, let's turn this GPS on. If I had enough energy in life, I would like put a gate in here. And, you know, if you've worked on a farm, it's, you know, while it's not often the desired path, I mean, you have paths at times through animal pens. It's not unheard of, especially on something where you're not going to use it, you know, that often. And, you know, especially with sheeps or cows, sheep or cows, they don't tend to go overly nuts. Anyway, I'm heading back down here, and I'm going to refill this guy with fertilizer. Oops, I'm not. Is he not actually fit? Too far away from here. Yep. So what we're planning on doing at this moment, here, let's hold on again. I always like to hit that wrong button. Let's jump back to here. I'll leave the grass off. So you can see we've planted oilseed radish in these 2 fields, and there's nothing at this point in field 9. So what I want to do is get some canola in here and get that done. Now let's go over to soil composition. So something happened. Well, I know what happened. I hit quick game and then I didn't save it, but thank goodness for autosave. But you can see it's a little bit different than when, I don't know, you guys probably aren't paying that much attention, but the fact is that kind of refilled a little bit, but then this time I didn't get enough. And so there's a little spot on field 13 that's not fully fertilized. We'll just have to ignore it or go back and spray it extra at some point in the future. Maybe we'll use the weeder at some point when we wouldn't otherwise. So the question with this field is, do we end up with the medium blue, like this is the light blue, and then this field we just have the oilseed radish in? Do we have to, you know, I mean, does this one go back down after we cultivate? Does it go down one? Or do we just get, you know, double, so to speak? Or does this one just end up with this one would be what I would expect to end up with single if we're just plowing in or cultivating in the oilseed radish. And then this one will have just a regular field of canola, which is an experiment to see if we can grow it fast enough by the end of the year to harvest it. And then field 15, we're just not going to do anything with. So, and then the next thing we'll have to do probably is either cut some grass or get the corn harvested. So anyway, this would be a little bit of an experiment. So since we got the tractor sitting here running, I don't know that we need more seed for this little field, but it's also not going to hurt to put more in there. Alright, that's full, so we can close this lid and hopefully it doesn't open back up on our way out. I had another thought about. Yep, it opened up on our way back. So we'll have to close it again. Now, do we cut through the field again? Yeah, right. Once you break the rules once, you might as well just go for it. Why break them halfway, you know? Well, going up this way. I think we can get out at the top of this field, can't we? So we could. Again, this is the kind of thing I would probably put a path in since I own these fields up here. I guess we could cut over through that other fence. See, I don't know if you just cut through here like I'm doing. It's awful tempting just to go through right there, isn't it? Oh, that's where the fence still is. That's what I get. Trying to act all dude. There's the whistling. That was to distract you guys from you sitting there thinking, what the hell is this guy whistling for? Alright, anyway, let's set this up a little. Oop, can't see from the trees. Turn this guy back on. And let's go to field 9. And let's auto. No, let's load the course. Let's auto adjust. Oh, look at it, got it on. It's spot on. Nice. And the only problem I have is here, I'm going to do V. Wait for that to unfold for a second. And I think this field, just since it's so small and it'll take so short, we'll either do together. I don't know if I'll even fast forward it. We'll see. See if I have enough to talk about while we're going. That's turned on, so let's just get this top part. Oh. Okay. Oh, look at that. I couldn't change it while it was running. There's canola. There's probably one of the least issues as far as me ever planning. I usually get a good row or two into it before I realize I'm planting the wrong thing. Many a field has become something different than I intended because I started out with the wrong thing. But in this case, you know, we sort of want to be, I wouldn't say exacting, but oh, come on, learn how to back up. This was an easy backup situation here too. Alright, so leave this on the way we have. No, I really should have probably readjusted this thing. Probably doesn't make any. I don't think this field works out that well. So, whatever. And it's not like spraying's actually a little more critical because when you spray, you can end up wasting some of the spray. Where when you're planting, you know, it only uses up as much seed as it actually plants, which is sort of a complaint. I mean, I think if you wanted to make I mean, I know they're not trying to make farm sim that realistic, but it's sort of cheaty that you can go off the edge of the field and all this other stuff. I don't want to say cheaty, it's just the way they built the game. Arcadey, that's probably a better word. You know, sort of arcadey to, you know, I'm going off the edge and I'm not planting there. And then if we overlap it all, then it doesn't use any seed or any extra seed. And plus, really in real life, if you have the thing running, you're going to end up with goofy crops. So anyway, there we go. I think we're in good shape now. Alright, so I think I will fast forward this. I don't know how much more I have to say this point about this operation. There you go. See, like right now, I'm just leaving the thing running. You know, like here we'll overlap, but we won't use but like half the amount as we come right up from this part. So. All right, let's fast forward it, and we'll have canola planted in this field. And there we go. Full canola field. Let's make sure it looks like canola field. Yep, there we go. So the debate is, if you don't remember from the beginning of the episode, we now have canola planted. Because it says green, planting season is now. We're in this day 7. We, you know, I guess we could have tried to plant wheat or barley. I don't know if that would have caused a particular problem. Nothing else. Well, we could have. I mean, we did oilseed radishes, and we're not going to plant poplars and grass. We're not going to turn it into a grass field. So that was like our one option to try to experiment. Will this grow fast enough? But the problem I see is if we go back to, let's go to growth. You know, right now we're in this first stage. 1, 2, 3 is dark green. So when we cross 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one, you know, will be the harvestable. So if we come back to here, we're going to cross 1, 2, 3, harvestable. So I don't think we're going to be able to harvest this canola. But this will be a pretty good experiment for us for future. Let's not waste time and money. And again, the oilseed radishes, they will be, you know, good to know that we can plant them up until the beginning of winter and, you know, harvest them or whatever anytime we want. But I guess we would just leave them on the field until we're ready to cultivate sometime in the spring. Guess that's how it will work. Okay, so I think let's turn off the tractor and hop out, and let's call it an episode right here. I'm pretty sure it's been about long enough, but this is an awful good place to cut the episode. Way over there somewhere. Where is our... No, more like this, because I think that's our other farm right there. So I think right up there might be our... I don't know. Somewhere right over there is our cornfield. We'll go harvest that. So we're not going to do anything with field 15 for the remainder of the season. And this grass field just here, number 10, and then the one down there somewhere next to that church. Yeah, like there's the log cabin. So right down here. Oh, you know what? We can see it right there. Field 15. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I will fast forward some time until we get to the next growth stage and that we're ready to harvest some corn. And obviously, if anything even slightly exciting happens, I will be back. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.